Hello, church family. It's 2 Minute Tuesday. In our Sunday morning sermons, we're studying what the Apostle Paul calls the fruit of the Spirit, 9 signs of the Holy Spirit's life in you. The first and most important of these signs is love. In John 13, we get the account of Jesus' Last Supper with his disciples. And John begins the account this way. Jesus knew that the hour had come for him to leave this world and go to the Father. Having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. At the Last Supper, Jesus gives some of his most important teaching, including this. He says, "A new command I give you, love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples if you love one another." Jesus says, love each other as I have loved you. But how does Jesus love his disciples? Well, not by what he says, but by what he does. And at the beginning of the Last Supper and after the Last Supper, he does these two things. First, Jesus kneels and washes his disciples' feet. Bear in mind that in the first century Jewish world, everybody walked, everybody wore open-toed shoes, and everybody shared the road with animals. People's souls were filthy. In fact, people's feet were so dirty that you were considered socially unacceptable until someone had washed your feet. The problem was that the job of foot washing was so distasteful that it was reserved only for the people at the bottom of the social ladder, people who were considered subhuman, typically slaves. So it's astounding that Jesus, the most important person in the room, is the one who kneels, places his hands on his disciples' feet, and makes them clean, makes them acceptable. So this is love in action. This is what it is to love. It's to kneel. It's to make yourself a servant. It's to consider no one beneath you, and specifically to touch people's lives in the places and times where they are most vulnerable and most humiliated, to reach out to people and raise them up in such a way that you make them clean and acceptable. The second thing that Jesus does is he goes to the cross and he dies for his friends. And that's the other thing that love is. It's laying down your life so that someone else can live. You can't say, I love you to someone unless you're willing to lay down your life for them. And by this, I don't mean necessarily laying down your life in a one-time dramatic kind of way, but laying down your life in an everyday showing up, saying no to what you want to give them what they need kind of a way. Of course, we're able to love because Jesus first loved us. He was our servant. He gave his life for us. So if you belong to Jesus, or if you want to belong to Jesus, or if you just want to be a better person and want the world to be a better place, love the way he loved us.